Hi there, my name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text, time to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. You know how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. You are rocking it. Thank you. And thank you for your partnership in this ministry and spending a little bit of your time with me in this way. So, this is for the 11th Sunday after Pentecost. I have to do the math in my head. Not the math, the counting, whatever. The 11th Sunday after Pentecost, and we are in the Bread of Life discourse, where we will have so much bread. Our bellies will be full of bread. Today we're not talking about bread. Well, a little bit, but not necessarily, because there's going to be a lot of conversation about bread over the next 6 weeks. Last week, this week, and then 4 weeks to follow-ish, I believe. Lots of bread. I am the bread of life. A lot of the I am statements. I am, that's not an I am statement. We are looking at the idea of looking and watching for Jesus. There's a phrase in the gospel lesson this week that says, when did you get here? When they're like, Jesus shows up and they're like, when did you get here? And this conversation that goes through about how people are looking for Jesus, whether that be the bread of life, whether that be because of a sign, because last week when we had the feeding of the 5,000, walking on water, we had all these looking for Jesus and looking for a sign. And then this week, when did you get here? And again, it's this sense of looking, of desiring or seeking out. But really that question, when did you get here? And how do we see Jesus? And how does Jesus see us? And how are we approached by Jesus? And all of that. There's lots of stuff that we can look at in this. The direction I'm going, and I haven't done this for a while, but you might have. But this is cryptic. I haven't done this for a while, but you might have. Anyway. I'm doing the illustration I'm using I've done in the past, and it is the paper tear, and I'll show you what that is because it seems to fit perfectly with the theme of seeking out Jesus, looking for Jesus, asking for a sign, seeing Jesus, and Jesus approaching us, and all of that. And so that's the direction I'm going. But before I get there, you could use a toy pair of binoculars of seeking Jesus. You could use a magnifying glass if you wanted to. You could use, let's see, I'm going to look up the other theme. There's one other thing, and if I can't remember, if I can't get to it, I will just, but sometimes, let's see here. Nope. Anyway, magnifying glass, magnifying glass. Anyway, there's another thing that's working in my brain, but it might show up by the time I get down here. If not, you'll see it in the blog post where items. So, but again, it's this idea of seeking, looking, examining. So, anyway, piece of paper and the paper tear. But we're looking at you can look at the magnifying glass because examining close, maybe have really, really, really small print. You know, there are folks that will write on a grain of rice, and that's pretty incredible. So, you know, magnifying glass, you could take a look at that. Maybe or two pictures. You could find them where one's the grain of rice, and then the other is that's blown up, and you can see what's written on there. This idea of examining, getting close, asking the questions. But in the end, it's Jesus that approaches us. That question, when did you get here? Jesus showed up. It wasn't that they went out seeking Jesus, but Jesus showed up. So, to the paper tear. Paper tear. So, the piece of paper. Now, there was a time decided I was going to go on a journey. Or you can tell the story. There was a woman I knew that went on a journey. There was a man that I knew that went on a journey. There was a person I know that went on a journey trying to find God. That they decided they were going to go out. They decided they were going to take their sailboat. We were going to fold this piece of paper like a sailboat. It's a sailboat. They're out on the ocean, the sea. They're looking for God. Where's God? Or they're looking for Jesus. Where's Jesus? And they didn't see Jesus in the ocean. So they came back from the ocean, they came back from the sea, and they decided to go to their house. So they were at their house, and they decide, and they walk up, they walk upstairs. Is God there? I don't see God. Is Jesus there? I don't know. I don't see Jesus. Oh, and they come back out. They're like, oh, Jesus, I didn't find Jesus in the ocean. I didn't find Jesus in my house. Oh, I know. We will go and find Jesus in... I am folding this into an amazing paper airplane. I went up to the person went up into the skies and we're like, oh, is Jesus up here? I don't know. I don't see Jesus anywhere. Nope, I don't see him. Comes down and lands. Decides, you know what? I haven't found Jesus in the ocean. I haven't found Jesus in the house. I haven't found Jesus in the sky. Oh, I know. We need to I'm powerful. I could rip paper. I made a rocket ship. So I decide I'm going to go up past the atmosphere, into orbit. That's me in orbit. And I looked, because there's no air up there. And then once I got back into the atmosphere, I could talk some more. And I couldn't find Jesus there. I looked for Jesus everywhere. You know, in the gospel lesson, people are amazed. They're like, to Jesus, when did you get here? Because I'm looking for Jesus everywhere. And you know what? Jesus is already here in the body of Christ and the people that are gathered. Jesus is present and is here. And we know because when we tell the story about God's good news, about Jesus Christ and the cross, we know that Jesus is present here. So that's what, the paper tear. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's like right underneath the Easter gum. I love it. So I'm going to walk through. It is simple. Grab 5 or 6 pieces of paper because you can work through it and practice it. But the first fold, I'm going to back up here so we can. The first fold is just taking the top piece and folding it down to where it reaches down there, and then you crease it. And you don't even really have to be very precise in this, but they're not hard folds. And that plays the part of the sailboat. And I like turning it so the fold is facing people because it looks a little bit more like a sailboat, but you're telling them it's a sailboat, so it is. Now, there's the sailboat. You take the next piece and you fold it, so you turn it to where the folded piece is towards you. You take this end and you fold it down like this, so it's folded down like that. You crease them, so you have a house. And I was like, I go in the front door. You don't even need a front door. I go in the front door. Go upstairs. I look over here. Look in the bathroom. Nope, Jesus isn't there. Bedroom. Nope. In the closet. Nope. Into the attic. Nope. Then leave. So I decide I'm going to go up into the sky, and typical paper airplane. Fold that up on itself. Like that, and then fold your wings down. You want to you're making the airplane like this because that's what's going to give you your cross. You might feel like you want to fold it like your standard airplanes, but that won't help you. So you fold the edges down like that, and you've got the airplane. Is Jesus up here? No. So that's folded. Now, at this point, you have the creases there, and the creases will tell you where you need to tear. I tear from this side down, and the reason is because that gives me enough starting point this here is like 6 folds of paper. So it's not impossible, but it is, as you saw, I wasn't like really like I wasn't embellishing or I wasn't exaggerating. It is actually kind of hard to tear. So I start from the top and I just tear down the line. And when I get to the pieces of paper, then I grab both sides, and you can, and kind of moving it back and forth. And you just go down that line. And tear it off. So you've got like that. And then this, you can just put it to the side. And this is a rocket ship, because you said it's a rocket ship. It goes up. And I love when I get up into space. And I go quiet, because it gets a laugh. But and you're up there and you're looking, you come back down. And then here, you've folded it up, and now all it is to actually open it up. And when you open it up, it's the cross. So there you are. That's the cross. And again, like I said, it's one of my favorite children's sermons to do. I do it I haven't done it for a while. And even if you've done it 6 months ago, if you have same kids and they see it, it's like their favorite program. If they've seen it before and they know it, you know that they like it. Yeah, I love it. All right, so that's my springboard. Actually, it's more than a springboard. That's my children's sermon for this week. So thank you so much for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. You are rocking it. All right. And I was so happy to run into so many of you at the ELCA youth gathering. And I pray that this is like 2 weeks past, but with the CrowdStrike software update, there are a lot of people that it took them a long time to get back from New Orleans. So praying for you, especially as you get back and get your feet back on the ground and all of that. This is long enough by the time this comes out that you'll, anyway, there we are. Peace, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.